This is Steve here with the NSAF here during our Project Triple Jump second clinic here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, here at this beautiful Orange Bowl field at Carter Park. And we're here with Coach Johnny Alexander, known by Coach Johnny to most folks down here, and someone who obviously is very involved with the Parks and Recreation in this facility, but has a much longer and greater history in the sport of track and field in this area and also for the country. Coach, I understand you're very instrumental in some of the developing some of the resources for the AAU. Can you tell us a little bit about your background in the sport and how you got to working on that project?
Well, actually, back in the late 60s, I got involved with youth athletics. And it was at that time, the governing body was the AAU. So we developed one of the first youth track and field programs in the entire city of Fort Lauderdale.
Mm-hmm.
And within 4 years, I became the Region 3 Director of the Florida Gold Coast AAU.
Mm-hmm. And where did it go? Where did it go from there?
Okay, from there we spent several years in the AAU. Then later years it became TAC, the Athletics Congress.
Right.
And I served at the national level because I was in charge of this region at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So from the TAC, it became the USA Track and Field, because there were some splits between AAU and USA Track and Field.
Yeah.
So I was the godfather of track and field in the South Florida area. That's what I was originally known as, the godfather.
Ah, okay, the godfather. Now, obviously we know nationally that this is one of the great resources for outstanding track and field athletes and coaches down here, both at the high school level and the club level. Can you tell me, just talk a little bit about the development of the great traditions that have allowed, South Florida to continue to be a great hotbed of track and field talent and coaching and leadership down here?
Well, it's the hotbed simply because we are one of the early regions of USA Track and Field that started working in youth athletics. However, track and field was the hotbed, but it was more or less the hotbed for football, youth football.
Sure.
So most of the football players in the area are also track and field people. So the more people got involved with track and field, all of the cities and the adjoining areas in Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach County started developing track programs, and those kids drifted from track to football. So now it is track and field and youth football. Florida Gold Coast, South Florida. So we have really moved tremendously, and several kids has gone into the professional ranks in Dade and Broward and Palm Beach County, along with Lee County. Kids have participated in this area. And we also did international meets with the Bahamas and the Caymans and the islands. So we had quite a camaraderie. And one of the kids from this area, Batman, the top hurdler.
Sure, yeah.
One of the top hurdlers. He was a part of...
Rashawn Jackson.
Yeah, Rashawn. Yeah. He was part of this program here with Jesse Holt, who became a good coach down in the Dade County area. So it was always a rivalry between the Fort Lauderdale Track Club, Track and Field USA, and also the track and field group that's Northwest Track Express.
Who have been some of your other favorite athletes that you've seen come up through this area over the years? I know we had Sonia Richards, of course.
Yeah, Sonia Richards from the Fort Lauderdale. But back in 1977, we had our first national champion. That was Laverne Palmer.
Okay.
And she's still in the area. We've had several state track and field runners. And we've had down Larry Black out of the Dade County area, who was also a member of the...
He was an Olympian, right?
Yes, he was an Olympian. And he was in the area, and he worked, and Edwin used to come train
Edwin
here.
Moses?
Edwin Moses.
Yeah.
He was one of the guys that got our hurdlers going. We had a group of hurdlers that came out of here that went on to St. Aul up in Carolina.
Sure, right.
And they were the national champions there with the small college.
Yeah. Okay. Now tell us a little bit about the history of this facility, how this came into being. It's such a beautiful public facility. There's very few like it in the country.
Well, actually, as far as I'm concerned, there is no other park per se I know in the entire state of Florida that has a facility that is as elaborate as this facility. This facility was a facility that was partially funded by the Orange Bowl and the city of Fort Lauderdale. And this facility is like a little more than a year old, and we have had people to come down during the winter and train down on this track, and it's open to the city of Fort Lauderdale. And we also make it available to track and field people throughout the country.
And it's got to be, I know you host a lot of things here, but it's got to be another sort of flower in your bonnet or whatever to be able to host an international training clinic like this that is with some of the top jumpers in the country and an international coach from the Bahamas. We've really appreciated you hosting us here.
Well, I'll tell you,
bounty for you too.
We are delighted to host it because it allows us to get the exposure, and it helps the kids simply because there are some of our local athletes that are involved.
Right.
That is one of the major interests that the Orange Bowl committee had in this facility, to make it available for youth and get as many community people involved as possible. So anytime you're ready to host something here, we are open because it's a great exposure for our kids.
All right, well thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate you talking with us today.
Okay, thank you.